Hi, welcome to Ocean Yumi. So today I am going to talk about the conscious community predators. Now, the only reason why I'm talking about this is because I saw a post that was posted up by someone that I just follow, Sun Ra, and he's a follower of the Sapiens, I think they're called now. Um, Now we know the history of Dr. York and all the stuff what he did. And it's just like what occurs in households when someone's a predator. Well, predators haven't got a look, right? They haven't got a look. But predators can look like anybody, can be anybody. And it's strange to me that how people still think that how they can free Dr. York. Now, Dr. York have done many atrocities, many, many atrocities. I know people said, oh, it was the government that was after him, some will say, and all this. But my thing is that it's just similar to the Nature Boy thing, innit? Where people know what he's done, what he did, whatever, and they're still trying to say, oh no, he didn't do it like that. Hi, P&F research group. Conscious predators and scammers preying on women, and yes, and sometimes men. It's strange. I'm glad I didn't go very deep. Luckily for me, I was only part of Nation of Islam. I'm just on the outskirts of Rasta, so I was good with that. Um, Even though now people probably mistake me for a Muslim, but it's okay. I don't even mind that still because it was some there's a in the Muslim society, but um it's just crazy to me because I remember doing a whole build on Dr. York and his son, I think Prince York, and the atrocities, what's going on between him and his father. And I just think that, right, like I said, a person can look really glamorous on the outside. I use King Yahweh as a good example, right? Because the guy's called himself Yahweh. Now remember, Ben Yahweh has also had minors as his brides or wives or whatever the case may be. So to me, it's like you're co-signing to whatever. Now, I've watched a few stuff on YouTube referring to predators and stuff, and it's always the ones closest to the children, women are the worst. Now, I'll throw Shaka Amos into that too. Polite. I can't think who else right at this present moment. And there's probably more out there. There's probably loads of them out there. Okay. And I just think that how it's like people protect them. They say, oh yeah, man, we got freedom and stuff like that. Now, what got to me when I saw the picture that I put up before of the people with free Dr. York. Now, Dr. York's been in jail for 100. Well, he's supposed to be in there for over 100 and something years. They literally buried him underneath the jail, and he confessed to doing what he did. Um, and also others have taken that same role on where they separate women from the children, mates from each other, etc., where they can take advantage of the children. Now, they're also right, and it's also a lot of single mothers that join these things as well. Single mothers, single parents, single women, however. Now, my thing is that how right our community is known to be keeping secrets of predatorial behaviors. Our community, particularly, are not looking. on the other community, because I don't know how they frequent. I know about our community specifically, right? Even when in a families per se, there's a big secret. No one's talking about it, but there's a big secret going on. There's there. And Polite is a very much a good example of that, where like his daughter, I think he's the stepdaughter, where he took her to a hotel. And do you know what happened after that? If you do know the story of that, what happened, then you know. That's why I'm just waiting for the trial part, really, because it's just like he's out here flossing, like he had done nothing and you done something. And I just feel that people shouldn't be bigging up. If anything, people should definitely be not advocating for you, not putting you up as, you know, like their quotes, as in their quotes, etc. And I just feel, to me, that how we people protesting for a person like, i.e., Dr. York. I don't know about Shaka Amos as much, but they big up Polite. I'm just like, wow, these predators do get a fair trial on the community. They don't seem to get no backlash. And when they do get a backlash, there's always someone saying, oh no, it's a lie. Oh, it's a lie. But the survivors of the abuse has spoken out about it. The survivors of Dr. York have spoken about what he did. Shaka Amos, a young lady, came out and spoke about what he did. He also said that he has slept with mothers and daughters. Side eye. And I'm just like, wow, like, so we can't even police the people who we so-called supposed to look up as the scholars. But to me, I think that how right, you shouldn't be led, you have to lead yourself. And you know, as hard as a task it is, you can't listen to some of these people who's on the pedestal, because they have the most darkest secrets going on. Like I said, and I would use King Yahweh, where he's saying he's a philanthropist. But those movements I've seen on that video is very questionable. The one that I put up of him moving very creepy. It's a very creepy movements going on. I'm just like, you know, do people not see who these people are? And people follow the good marketing. Oh, they're very marketed very well. And all this, you know, it's just crazy. I'm just like to myself, why fight for someone who's done such atrocities and you have evidence on top of it? And it's like there's a refusal to believe what these people did, even though they put out the most information. Though, like, as we know, information is copied on a regular basis and all that stuff. Dr. York, the books that he wrote apparently was from other books, which happens, which is with most cases, because I know even what's his name, Ra Nefer wrote some books which was said to be not from his head, is from other places. But the books but there's never ending chapters to it. So I'm just like, where does it end at this rate? And I'm gonna put up what this person said too, because it's true. Because it's true. Constantly preying on women and the youth. It's just constant, continuous. I'm just like, wow. So I'm just saying this because I don't know whether people got what I said on my community tab. Polite is another one. I don't know when his trial is. I think Trips knows when his trial is, and Queen Throne knows when his trial is as well. And I'm just like, so people just stand aside and just look on and just clap for these people and just be like, oh, it's okay. There's loads of ways to stop things, like without stopping, without, you know, Now, there's a guy called Matt Forever, I think he's called, and he's been putting out stuff about all what's been going on around the House of Consciousness, Cyanetta, and etc. And when they put out the one with the young girl talking about what happened with her and Shaka Amos, where she said that how like her mum was going out with him and she just happened to be home with him one day, and he made advances to her or he molested her, and she kind of goes into deep description about it. And also with Polite One as well, when I saw who the daughter was that he molested or tried to molest, I'm just like, wow. And people still claps for these people, right? You still back them, you still send them your money, you still do all that and extra. And it's like, I don't know, it's just, I can't even put it into words. So, you know me, I like to put my thoughts out there and get comments in return, because it's just ongoing. It's an ongoing thing. Many women many women and men, because I've got the men as well, have been through abuses, right? And 99 to 100% of that is people that the parents even know. Sometimes it's not always from an outside source. And we know in these circles, right, in the community, sometimes everybody knows everybody. So you're just like, you can't just take, because a person is the most hotep, the most whatever, that it is that they are, because sometimes behind that there's something else. Sometimes it's better, to me, I feel myself, it's better when you talk to someone who don't have them language, who don't say certain stuff, who just talks normal, because to me, I find they are not so fake. They can be themselves. Even the most people who swear the most, I rather talk to them people. But I'm not saying that how even the people outside of the circle is safe, but it's just very mad out here. I can't even remember what I put on the title now. But yeah, there is a lot of predators in the community. There's a lot of predators in the wider community and in the community. However which way you think about it. And to me, it is a bit bigger than us. And when you are protesting, even Queen Afua was there. I'm thinking Queen Afua, the womb lady, the one who worked with the women and have her son working with the men. Questionable. No, her son. But then it's like, what are you doing there? Do you not know Dr. York's history? Do you not know Dr. York's history? Why would you go to something that represents somebody who's done the biggest atrocious 100 and something? I can't remember how many children it was. It was a lot of children. It was a lot of children. When they tell their story, you really feel it. I have actually got a build on that on here. I'm gonna find it. When they tell their story, you feel it. You literally feel it. Even the one that Polite talks to, and he says that how right he will follow him because he is his father. And I said, no, I am not. I won't follow somebody like that. You don't follow people like that, right? In fact, like I said, you follow yourself. People are looking for a savior. Why are you looking for a savior? Save yourself. You cannot be going for a person, people who do these things. Do you know how much damage it does to a child after they've been abused? I think I've said this before. It can go one or two ways. They can even get more promiscuous, even get more protective over their children. They are broken. They are broken. They are questionable about their sexuality, sexual orientation. If it's a boy, or girl, because remember, women can be predators too. And like, you can really, really make a person go off their head. Daughters of Deceased is something very, 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 very prominent to me, which is strange because, like, I don't really listen to her that much. She's talking about her friend who got abused till she got pregnant. And because the mum was going through what she was going through, the mum was saying that the daughter was after the boyfriend or whoever. And the lady literally lost her mind. I don't know whether I'm telling it verbatim, but that's kind of an overview of what was said. And I said it's true because you're literally taking away a child's innocence, right? And you thinking that you are in the right to do this. Then you have the people who probably thinks the same way as you do in agreement with this. Now, this can break a person, it can send a person off the edge, especially if they are impregnated by the abuser. It's very deep. It's a deep rabbit hole, this. Now, I've seen plenty, and I say this on the dark side as well. I think I said it on the dark side, I don't know. Plenty videos pertaining to children who's either been unalived after abuses or whatever. This is very serious in the conscious community and in the wider community. However, it can really damage a whole generation of children. You are really hurting the next generation. When you think about it, that's what you are doing. But they don't think about that. They think about their own self. They don't think about what they're doing to a young child. They don't think about what that child is going through at that time. They don't think about, I don't even know. I can't even think of the next one. They don't think about a lot of things. And they don't take accountability. I feel Polite, Chaka Amos haven't taken accountability for what they have done. And they just continue life like it's just as normal. The couple people on YouTube or wherever who holds them accountable, they never hold themselves accountable. Then people's all right with it because like they have a couple unks or papyruses in the back of their thing, or they can speak good lingo, they can break down words. Oh wow, like that's something big. Anybody can break down a word. They know a couple things, therefore they are very knowledgeable. This person is whatever, but they don't look at what they have done. And it can totally mess up a child. It takes a really good, like if they're in a really good relationship for them to understand, like get, I don't know, to understand what they went through, especially if they have a good partner who can bring them through that. And that's a rare thing. So it's like, you do what you did and then you don't hold no accountability. The people still put you on a pedestal. Why? And I really, to be honest, I can't wait for the trial of Polite. I don't know whether anybody else can't wait. I can't wait for the trial of Polite. Chaka Amos should be held responsible. I don't know, however they caught him in the act. I don't know. But Polite's been caught in the act several times on video. I think Zion Lex went in on him at one time. So it's like, people to preach about black woman is God and protecting the women, protecting the children. How are you protecting the children if you're taking advantage of the next generation that's coming up who's going to carry the nation? Doesn't make sense. It makes no sense. Then you're protesting for a whole abuser. You'll back a whole abuser. Why are you protesting for a whole abuser? Someone needs to come in the comment or the chat and tell me something, because I don't know. I don't know. It's just like many women are broken because of what have happened to them. I don't know in the conscious community is that more, but I know that those couple children that I heard from Dr. York had a lot of therapy. They had a lot to get over. You know what I mean? Like, luckily, if it was not for that woman breaking away, however she got away, though they said it was the government who got them. So I'm just like, why? Free, like they say on the thing, free Dr. York. Why are we freeing an abuser, a predator, into the community? Why? Why? Why would you protest for that? You're on protest for the Black Panther that's been in jail for how many years? Marimba, I forgot his name. Marimba, I can't remember his name. But you will protest for Dr. York. Make it, please, as one will say, make it make sense. Marimba has been in prison for, I don't even know how long, for when he was 17, I can't remember. I think it was when he was 17. And he's been there now. I don't even know whether he's alive. You know what I mean? I can't remember his name. Someone needs to put in the comment section that man's name. Marimba, somebody. He was a Black Panther and he's been in prison for how long? But you would protest for a predator. We have things all backwards. I don't know. We are very backwards. There is knowledge out there to be had by all. There's knowledge out there. There's knowledge out there. You don't need no Dr. York. You don't need no young Pharaoh because he's a scammer. You don't need no Nature Boy. You don't need no Shaka Amos to tell you about Egypt. Right? There's people, there's like, you can educate yourself. They always say educate yourself. You educate a woman, you educate the nation. You educate a man, I think he educates his whole family or something like that. I can't remember how the saying goes. So I'm just like, why are people trying to free a predator? Why? It makes no sense. But yet still, we are fast to talk about the outside community. Oh, we are going to go protest for that. You have to you have to help yourself first, your own, which means stopping predators within your own before you can go out there and go help others on the outside. Like like what I did. I improved myself a little bit. I'm just waiting for the result. That's what I'm doing now. So and I also look out for certain things even when I'm walking as well. You know what I'm saying? So you cannot, so when you're even in certain spaces, i.e. the conscious community, you have to be wary. Not everybody's your friend in the conscious circles. They could be predators there, you don't even know. So I don't know whether I'm making my point. I don't know. But anyway, I think that's all I want to say. Cause I ain't even gonna let this drone on. I'm not gonna go into 1 hour, 2 hours of droning. You tell me what you think. You put in the comments because I see on my community tab people are saying a few things. Now I feel that how that protest shouldn't have happened. Personally, that's my personal, me personally. I don't know about anybody else. Everybody, we all have our own opinions and our own thinkings and our own minds and whatever. But predators stay locked up, castrated, whatever, because they hurt a whole generation of children. They end up unaliving children. They end up missing children. They mess the child up. They end up destroying the person. And this continues until the person breaks the cycle, until they even start questioning their own sexuality. So that's why when I see certain things, because I know certain communities are not for certain things, which I had to learn myself. So you are co-signing to letting a predator out. That's very interesting. And it's so strange because there is lots of us who have knowledge amongst ourselves. We don't have a look to it. I mean, I choose to tie my hair. I choose to dress how I dress. Right? I just don't, you know, whatever. I could because before, yeah, I was free out there. I even went to the conscious community, but I always keep a toe in and out kind of thing. Hope they change on certain stuff, but I don't really join them on certain stuff. I don't believe in what they believe in certain stuff, but I do believe that there is a lot of predators in the community. I believe that. I really do. And it's not, and I know it's not only in America. The only reason why it hasn't come out in the UK, I don't know why it hasn't come out in the UK. They don't name and shame people in the UK like how they do in America. And I feel that's why it hasn't come out. Even though sometimes there was hearsay of women getting beaten in the conscious community, but it's not spoken about over here. That's the difference. So that's why when Umar and certain ones come over here, right, the UK pick them up because they say that how people are lying against the people. That's why I say you guys need to put out stuff for the UK people to hear. Like there is no boundaries. And just because we are not talking about predators over here amongst the conscious community, right? There might be predators out there. We don't even know. So my personal thinking, right? I don't follow no Polite. I don't follow no Dr. York. My brethren used to follow Dr. My two brethren used to follow Dr. York. I think I'm my ex. But no, I'm not following Dr. York. I think in fact, I think I threw away or I have threw away Dr. York's videos what I had of him. His videos, his CDs, his stuff. I think even some of the Nation stuff I got rid of because especially since Nation signed over to Scientology. I don't want to be in Scientologists. I don't want to be part of that. It doesn't make no sense. And there is a lot of questionable things that goes on amongst the community. When people are faced with questions from people like Ma'at Forever, Remio Ma'at, Trips Treehouse, I don't even know, Jaded, I don't know, Queen's Throne, I don't know, half of everybody who questions certain stuff, they are faced with a fight. When they call them out for the predators and stuff for what they do, they are either not liked by the community or people try to get rid of their channels or stuff like that. And I'm just like, but if they are highlighting predators and scammers, which you do need to know about, so you can know that how you won't get had by these people. So I don't know. I feel like I'm droning on, but that's how I look at it. So I do want to hear opinions. I say opinions in the comment section because it's like the conscious community we don't really say a lot of stuff. We listen to them. Well, we do say a lot of stuff, but we don't say enough. And later on, when we find out that these people are who they are, then we feel like, oh my God, and I was following them for ages. YP, I used to love YP's information. Now, ask me if I listen to it now. I don't even listen to him now. I don't even check for him. I don't even check for Polite. Polite at one point, in fact, I nearly tried to join New Covenant. And when I saw the conscious, the thing in the limo with him and the stripper thing, I said, hell no. Right? So Egypt was Queen Afua for me. I didn't know about no Shaka Amos and all this. So even Queen Afua was even questionable. I'm like, damn, I used to love her books. I think I got Sacred Woman, City of Wellness. I nearly got the cookbook. It's like, man, you just thinking to yourself, man, these people, even though they are well studied or well versed in certain stuff, but then even those is questionable. But like I said, I'm not going to drone on because it'll make no sense if I'm droning on. I'm just saying a point, and you can put in the comment section what you think. And I'm just going to come off and thank you for PMF Research Group. And I have put the highlight. It's going to stay up here to the end of the live because it's true. So with that said, I'm going to take a bow, and I'll see you next live. And yeah, it's crazy out there. It's a crazy world. Don't follow people. Don't follow them. Follow yourself. Follow yourself. If you're gonna do, if you want to grow stuff and be an eco warrior yourself. If you want to learn yoga, read, right, you can read. You can go to probably like real yogis. I don't know whether there's good ones out there or whatever. Spiritual systems, whatever you gotta do. There's real people doing real stuff out there, but it's finding them, and they don't always wear head wrap. They don't always have dreads. They don't always have beads, waist beads, and crystalled up or whatever. Because people can look normal. Look at Sister Alma just looks normal. She doesn't even look like how a conscious person would look, so-called conscious person. Because there is no look to it. There is no feel to it. There is no whatever. You are the consciousness within you. You have it within you. You can know a lot of things as well. You don't need a scholar to show you can learn, you can read, you can research, whatever. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. The best thing I did was take a little step from the community. Well, the community knows me, so I kind of have links to the community, and I kind of in that way. But I'm not really in there. I don't go to seminars. I don't go to African markets like I used to. I don't do a lot of things because everything's questionable. You have to question everything. They see you as the black sheep, so be it. If they don't want to talk to you and greet you, whatever. Because of these, because for this reason, this is why there's so many of these predators and scammers amongst us, because we don't police the inside circle of certain stuff. There's too many what do they call it? Cliques or groups. There's a lot of them over here. I can say that for sure. Because I was so different, I didn't fit in. I didn't get into cliques. Therefore, when I had a business, it didn't really jump off. Only certain people that I dealt with got the best result out of what I was given. So you have to be careful with this conscious. When you're saying you're part of the conscious community, I just say I'm just aware. There's no such thing as woke. You are aware. You're aware of a lot of things. You're aware of the agendas. You're aware of certain stuff. There is no template to it. Hi, SL. How are you? SL Davis. How are you doing? It's just crazy, like how people like Shaka Amos and so forth get away with certain stuff, and we just sit there and we clap our hands to this. And I'm just like, you can't be clapping your hands to BS. It makes no sense. All right. So, like I said, even though I'm still on the outskirts of the community. I'm on the outskirts. I know a whole heap of them. I know Nation of Islam. Oh, good. Yeah, I'm good. I know Nation of Islam. I know Rasta. I nearly knew the New Age side of things, but I didn't go in deep like that. Right? So, but I was part of the spiritual community, right? Because of the massage that I used to do, the Reiki I used to do. I wasn't so much into astrology. I was into cards. I was into a lot of stuff. But I did hear there was loads of stuff that used to go on in the community, right? Where there was fathers who was big up, who was high up, the high ups, I call them the high ups now, who was high up ranking in the community that weren't taking care of their children, that weren't doing certain stuff. There is a lot of single mothers that is part of the conscious community. They carry the conscious community, but at one point, the conscious community wasn't, they was cussing or putting down the single mothers. So when I see predators like this, I know how easy it is for a predator to enter into a single mother's life, talking about all this knowledge. Because because naturally you get captivated by a man who knows stuff, because you think he's going to teach you something. I used to love Rastas. When I was younger, Rastas was my thing. I used to love a Rasta, man. I ain't gonna lie. I used to love locks. Used to love it. So even when I grew my locks, when I got closer to Rastas and I got closer and I saw what they were like, it kind of put me off. Right. And I have 2 children by a Rasta, man. So I was like, damn. I mean, so I grew my locks many times and I cut them. I grew my locks many times. I cut it because I came to a realization that how what's on the outside is not always translating on the inside. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather be around a normal person, a person who wear a weave. Like even me, though I stick out a lot, I look like I I would say now I look like a Muslim now more than ever. But but saying that, saying that, I'm just as normal as anybody. I can talk to anybody. I can sit with Somalians. I can sit with. I remember at one time West Indians was so-called Pan-Africans, but they wouldn't sit with the Africans. And me, I wasn't like that because I wasn't brought up like that, right? I wasn't brought up like that. So I used to be around the Africans. Like I found more. I was more at home with the Africans than with the Caribbean. But then now I can say, okay, I could be around Caribbeans more. So what they was saying was translating in the seminars, in the forums, wasn't translating outside. Like they talk about Africa, but they won't mix with the Africans. They won't eat their food. They won't do a lot of things. And I was like, what the hell? Later on, when I realized what was going on, even to the spiritual system itself, when I started to literally deal with whatever I was, because they were saying, "Oh yeah, you're searching." It's not a matter that you're searching. You're not searching. You're finding yourself because they always tell you to go find yourself. They always tell you to go and look back. It's the Sankofa thing calling. There's a Sankofa bird where you look back, right? So in a conscious community, they say a lot of nice words. It's word salad. It's word salad. Basically, it's word salad. You don't fall for it. The hotep. All right, assalamu alaikum is normally what Muslims say anyway, right? But the hotep greeting, grand rising. See if somebody say that to me, I'm looking at them sideways. I rather you just say hi, how you doing, talk normal. I'm cool with you that way. Then when somebody calls me sis, I used to have this thing against the sister thing too. I still have it to this day. I don't even be around that. But to me, you are the foundation, right? You are that. So when you see people like Shaka Amos, Polite, Dr. York, I don't even know, there's so many of them, right? Yes, the information sound good, yes, but then it's left for you to go and find out, to go and read for yourself, to go find for yourself. You go and fetch for yourself. You don't let them take you to where you need to be. That's why I'm in the spiritual system I'm in, because maybe if I did listen to them, I won't be where I'm at. Because like you can be in a box, because people put themselves in a square. You can't be in a square. You have to come out of that square because you have to deal with normal people on a day-to-day basis. And that's where the conscious community sometimes get it wrong, because they say they don't want to be like the oppressor and they end up being the oppressed. They end up hurting the youth. There is some good people out there, so I'm not going to put all of them in one basket. No, I'm not going to put all of them in one basket. Sorry, I'm wheezing. I'm not going to put all of them in one basket because I've met all different types, all walks of life. I've met the longest locks to the late past the thighs, the ones who wraps the biggest turbans. I met so many Dr. York ones. It was so stupid at one point. They was trying to convince me certain stuff and I just didn't take it on, because why should I take it on? And that's where it is. And I feel that's why they're able to capture the younger ones, and they're able to manipulate, control, whatever. Like I said, they talk against the oppressor and they oppress the people. So some of them, not all of them. So I'm just like, when you see hear of the Shaka Amos, the polites, because there's loads of nature boys and there's loads of polites that's still in the community. But like I said, in the UK, they don't get called out as much as in the Americas, and that's the difference. Maybe if they were doing that over here, maybe we will see a whole heap of people. It's not until when certain ones, like how my friend got done by a herbal man, where he took all her money. He took all her money. He literally was giving her herbs, powders. Now, Malvan McRae comes to mind. So when I saw her, I quickly spoke, and even though she knew already, I spoke what I saw, and then she had to go and get a second opinion on certain stuff. There's the post. So it's like, it's like you have to think for yourself, because you're the only one who's going through whatever. That's why I'm saying, when people following people, certain stuff, that's why I get upset with those Guyanese women who's West Indian. You can wear locks and you don't have to be part of nothing, but you can still live the life. You can eat, be vegan. You don't have to be in a group to eat vegan. You don't have to be in a group to say what you got to say. You can speak by yourself. The only time you join certain organizations is if it's against criminal things, is it against the community, somebody on a live, and then the whole community can talk out. But these people want to be rappers because Polite wants to be a rapper, Young Pharaoh wants to be a rapper. So what is going on? But anyway, maybe it's the sign of the times. But I'll get back to the predators. Those predators that I mentioned, the Dr. Yorks, the Shaka Amos, I don't know. Oh yeah, I'm Polite. And they're still out there. They're still out there being promoted. Why would you promote a predator, an abuser, molester? I don't even know how many words to say it. But like I said, I'm gonna finish ranting. I'm not gonna go off on one, because normally I would go off on a whole long train of no return, and I don't want to do that. I just want to keep it where it's at. So, like I said, like, you don't need no groups. Sometimes you can teach yourself. There's many books out there. There's many scholars out there. Mahatma Ashby. I haven't heard nothing bad about Mahatma Ashby. Aries Lim. I ain't heard nothing bad about him. I can't think who else. Eris Lim, sorry. I can't think who else. Layla Africa. I used to hear funny things about Layla Africa, but then Layla Africa, at least with him, I can say at least he tried to get to. I mean, maybe someone might tell me something different in the comments. I don't know, but I never heard him doing anything to anybody. Layla Africa, Moata Ashby. No, Sheikh Anti Diop. I don't know. So you're just like, what is going on with the modern day so-called conscious community? Co-signing to that. But like I said, I'm not going to go on. Thank you for coming through. I'm putting in and saying hi and stuff. And please leave a comment underneath the video and tell me exactly what you think of all this. Because I'm not in agreement with it. I'm not in agreement with it. And I feel that how you can learn the mystery language of the Egyptian magic and different things. You don't need to associate with certain organizations or groups. You just need a very good guide, like what Fundi said. Master Fundi said that how she had a very good teacher If you got a very good teacher who don't want to sleep with you and all this stuff, that's when you know you're onto a good thing. I keep saying this. I swear I've said this many times. If the teacher wants to sleep with you, that's when it becomes a problem. So you have to be mindful of a lot of things. If you have a child and you're with a conscious man and he's moving certain ways and your child is saying, Mum, you need to get rid of that man, be by yourself, do what you got to do, because you cannot be putting your children in danger. Even I'm now so aware because I talk about this stuff. I watch Queen Trode and so forth. You're just like you're no, not paranoid. You're just like aware. That's it. You're mindful. Where you take your where you take your child, who's around your child, who's around your child, who's around him. Anybody can look a certain way, a certain part. It doesn't necessarily translate into what it is. Okay. So I am gonna get. Sorry, I'm gonna start rambling. So okay. So thank you, P and F Research Group, for coming through, and SL Davis. Sorry, it is always short and sweet because I just like to just say what I got to say and then come off. So with that said, I will see you in the comments. Please leave your comments. I know people talk, well, likes. If you leave your likes as well, that'd be nice too. Leave your comments because I love to read your comments. Also, please subscribe to the dark side of Oshinyemi because I talk about predatorial stuff. I was talking about down low stuff. I'm supposed to add the conscious community to that list on the predatorial stuff, which is going to be added over there. Yeah. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to add anything else to this video, to this live. So with that said, I will see you later. Take care. Bye.